Today, we're going to be looking at a strategic analysis of Wegmans. We're going to be looking at the business and corporate level strategy, as well as the background and how they operate. My name is Alexandria Hicks. I'm a student with the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and I am currently in the MBA program. I'll be presenting today. Wegmans is a regional grocery store chain that's predominantly located in the Northeast region of the U.S. It's family owned and currently led by CEO Colleen Wegman. Wegmans is known for its strong reputation around quality, customer experience, and employee culture. So instead of operating like a typical grocery store, Wegmans positions itself as more of a premium food destination. The focus is not just on buying groceries, but the overall experience. Instead of competing on price like a lot of other stores, Wegmans focuses on creating value through quality experience and customer service. When you walk into Wegmans, it feels a lot different than a traditional grocery store. It's more of a full food experience. So they offer like restaurant style food, high quality private label products, and a level of customer service that really stands out. This connects to Porter's strategy framework and the article, What is Strategy? Where it's about being different, not just being better at something, but doing it in a unique or different way. And Wegmans isn't trying to win a price war, but intentionally positioning themselves around quality and experience instead. You can also see this through Porter's five forces. Grocery retail industry is extremely competitive, so there's a lot of strong rivalry and a lot of pressure from price sensitive customers. So, because of that, Wegmans tries to avoid that by creating more value for its customers to have them be less focused on price and more focused on an overall experience. From an internal perspective, this strategy is supported by Wegmans' resources and capabilities. Barney's framework emphasizes that competitive advantage comes from those internal strengths, and Wegmans really leans into that. Their employee culture and training and focus on customer experience are major drivers to their success. They consistently rank among the top places for best place to work, and that directly translates into a better service in store. If you look at this through the VRIO framework, those resources are valuable because they build customer loyalty. They're rare because a lot of grocery stores don't really operate this way, and they're difficult to imitate, especially their culture and service model. And importantly, Wegmans is organized in a way that actually supports those strengths. So it allows them to fully capture that value. Another key piece is how everything fits together. Wegmans store layout, even their product selection, really reinforce that customer service and they all reinforce each other. So it's not just about what makes them different, it's just the entire system together. So that alignment makes their strategy much harder for competitors to copy. I will say that at the same time, what we have seen is that there is, you can't focus on one permanent or one advantage. So the transient advantage article explains that companies have to continuously evolve rather than rely on one long term advantage. And the disruptive technologies article shows that companies can fall behind if they focus too much on their current customers. So Wegmans has been successful partly because they've continued to evolve, and that can look like expanding into prepared foods, investing in digital capabilities, but they've always consistently gone back to their core strategy. So overall, Wegmans uses a differentiation strategy supported by strong internal capabilities, and their success really comes from how well everything is aligned and how consistently they deliver on high quality experience. When looking at Wegmans' corporate level strategy, it's a little bit different from a lot of other large companies because they aren't heavily diversified. So instead of operating around multiple unrelated industries, Wegmans really stays focused within the grocery retail space and other just closely related areas. Because of that, you could really say that their corporate level strategy is best described as related diversification with elements of vertical integration. Wegmans expands within its core business by adding services that enhance the overall customer experience. So, for example, they've expanded into prepared foods and in store dining and other specialties. But these are all closely related to grocery retail, so they allow Wegmans to create more value and further differentiate itself. You can also see elements of vertical integration in how they operate. So they have their private label products, but they work really closely with their suppliers to maintain the quality and consistency. And that also gives them more control over their supply chain and supports their ability to deliver high quality products. This aligns with what has been discussed about corporate strategy. So companies should expand in ways that create synergy and that reinforce their existing strengths. So Wegmans isn't expanding into unrelated industries. Every expansion connects back to its core proposition and that customer experience. Their use of technology is another key piece of this strategy. Um, Wegmans doesn't adopt technology just to cut costs. So they really focus on enhancing the customer experience still. So they have invested into inventory systems and fresh food management and even those digital capabilities, but they're all driven by business needs rather than just trends. So it reinforces their overall strategy instead of distracting from it. This can also connect to the pipelines, platforms, and new rules of strategy article. So Wegmans still primarily operates as a pipeline business, so they can still control the flow of goods from suppliers to customers rather than functioning as a platform. They've incorporated digital elements, but they're still focused on strengthening their core operations rather than shifting to a whole new model. Another important aspect of Wegmans' corporate strategy is discipline and growth. So Wegmans is known for expanding slowly. So they're very intentional about where they go. And this reflects strong long-term strategic leadership and long-term thinking rather than just prioritizing rapid expansion. So this idea of transient advantage can also apply here. Companies don't rely on one advantage forever. They need to continuously evolve again. And Wegmans does this by adapting its stores, expanding offerings, and changing to customer preferences while still staying grounded in that core strategy. Always going back. Overall, Wegmans' corporate level strategy is focused and highly aligned with its business level strategy. By staying within related areas and integrating parts of its core operations, the company strengthens its differentiation and makes a consistent, high quality customer experience across all locations. Overall, Wegmans is a strong example of a company that is really consistent in how it approaches strategy. At the business level, they focus on differentiation through quality and experience. At the corporate level, they support that through controlled growth, vertical integration, and strong partnerships. Everything works together, which allows them to maintain competitive advantage in a really competitive industry. So, Wegmans works really hard to go back to customer service always. And here are the references that I have. Thank you.